Most e-commerce businesses focus all of their efforts or most of their efforts into gaining new customers and driving fresh and new traffic to their websites. But what if I told you that retaining your old customers is actually way cheaper and even easier than gaining new customers? Actually, studies showed that selling to an existing customer is 5 times cheaper than selling to a totally new one. And it's actually super surprising to me that most e-commerce brands, and I have worked with a lot of them in the previous years, don't have a system in place to bring customers back and to retain them. And it's really surprising because if you have your system set up properly, you will be able to retain your customers and increase their long-term value, thus increase your sales. All of this can be done on autopilot using marketing automation, and this is exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. In this video, I'm going to show you the best automation marketing strategies that will help you to increase your sales, boost your retention, and maximize your customers' long-term value, all without spending any more dollar on ads. So, are you ready? And before we dive in, I want to thank Brevo for sponsoring this video. If you are not familiar with Brevo, Brevo is an all-in-one automation and SRM platform. It helps e-commerce businesses send highly converting emails, SMSs, and push notifications all in one place. And not only that, Brevo integrates with Shopify, WooCommerce, and other platforms, making it super easy to set up your marketing automation system and start boosting your sales on autopilot. Through this video, we are going to use Brevo to set up the system, so let's get started. Now that we know the importance of automation for e-commerce, let's start by talking about email sequences. And email is still one of the highest converting channels ever. I know that many people think that people don't open their emails anymore, but this is not true. I work with a lot of e-commerce brands and businesses, and I know for a fact that email marketing works, and it works very well. But in order for email marketing to work well, you need to set it up properly. With email marketing, you can turn your customers into loyal customers. You can recover lost sales, and you can encourage repeat purchases. All of this can be done on autopilot. You just need to set it up once, and that's it. But before even talking about email sequences, there is something super important that we should do first, and it is to collect our store visitors' emails. If we don't have our customers' emails, how we are going to contact them? There is no way. That's why we should start there by collecting our customers' leads, and leads can be their emails or their phone numbers. But we will start by their email addresses because that's what we are focusing on first, email marketing. And the best and simplest way to do this is through a pop-up that you show to your store visitors. You invite them to sign up to your newsletter by offering them an incentive like a discount or maybe a freebie or something like this. And this will greatly help you to turn your store visitors into your newsletter subscribers. And this is extremely important because once they do that, it means that you can start contacting them through emails. With Brevo, you can easily set up a pop-up and make it live on your store in order to start collecting your visitors' leads. So let's move to Brevo and let's see how you can set up your first pop-up there. So this is Brevo, and if you want to sign up, I highly recommend you to use the link you will find below in the description and to use this coupon code, because using this coupon code, you will get 50% for the first 3 months on any plan you choose. Okay, so don't forget to use the coupon code and to sign up through the link. Now we are inside of Brevo, and as you can see in here, we have so many things that we can explore. But we are going to start with contacts because this is where we are going to create our first pop-up. And you will find this under forms. And from here, you click on create sign up form, and you choose between having a full page embedded form or a pop-up. If you go with this option, this is gonna work if you want to embed a form within one of your pages, or if you have a landing page. Let's say you are doing a giveaway or something like this, and you want to embed a form within this page, this is the option that you can go with. But in our case, because we are creating a pop-up, a welcome pop-up that our store visitors are going to see when they land on our store, we are going to go with this option. So I'm going to go with this option. This is my website, and in here I will call my pop-up, I will call it welcome 10, let's say, and click on create form. Once you do that, you can start by the design or you can start by the settings. So in here, you choose when and how often visitors are going to see this pop-up. Okay, so as you can see in here, first we have when the page appears. So you can decide, for example, to show it directly when someone lands on the page or wait a little bit of time. I usually prefer to wait, so I would put it like, for example, 10 seconds. And in here you can choose to show it when someone is about to leave your store, and we call this pop-up an exit intent pop-up. Usually I don't use this type of pop-ups heavily on mobiles. I use it more on desktop because on mobiles it doesn't perform accurately, like there is no exit in there. So I prefer to use the welcome one because most of my website visitors are usually coming from mobile. Okay, and here you decide how many visits before the pop-up form appears, so you can show it directly on the first visit or after several visits, and you can decide how many times can a visitor see the same pop-up. Okay, and you can here decide the delay. Okay, I'm gonna choose to make them see it every day, so I will put like 1000 and then here I will keep it 24 hours. So basically I'm telling Brevo that I want my store visitors to see this pop-up every day if they didn't sign up yet, and to show it 10 seconds after they land on my page, and I will click on save. After when, we need to decide where, so on which pages you want to show your pop-up. In most of the cases, you want to show it on all of your store pages. But sometimes you would be making like a special pop-up for a special announcement or a special offer, so you want to hide it on certain pages and show it on other pages. In this case, this could be very valuable. I will click in here and I will keep it as show on all pages. But as you can see, you can choose show on these pages only or show on all pages except this one. Okay, so it's up to you. I'm gonna keep it show on all pages. In here, consent management. So this is if you want your customers to double opt in when they sign up. This is extremely important, especially if you are located in the UK, I think, maybe in other countries as well. So basically, when someone signs up, they put their emails, they will receive an email on their, whatever, it's Gmail or whatever, confirming that they have signed up to this pop-up. In this case, you make sure that every email you have on your list is legit and there are people who intentionally signed up to your newsletter, not someone using like a random wrong link, a wrong email address or something like this. I personally recommend to keep the double opt-in confirmation. I think it's better, but it's really up to you. Okay, and then here you can keep it as simple or no confirmation and click on save. After that, you have the contact management. So choose the lists to which you want to add this contact. Since this is a pop-up, and in this pop-up, I will be inviting them basically to take an offer and to sign up to my newsletter because I want them to be aware that I will be sending them emails in the future. I'm collecting their emails, I'm giving them a discount because I want their email addresses. So I will click in here and I will choose a list. You can either choose one that you already have or you can create a new one. So let's call it a newsletter, for example. And in Brevo, you can have several businesses. So you can have every business under a folder, but I will put it in here and click on create. Okay, so now any contact that I collect through this pop-up is going to be added to this list, and I will click on save. Once this is done, the next thing that we need to do is to create the design. So you click on create design in here. And in here, you start designing your pop-up. But it's really up to you. But since, again, most of our store visitors are now coming from mobiles, I always like to design with mobile in mind. So I will start in here by choosing the mobile view, as you can see. And I will keep my pop-up simple. If you want to add an image to your pop-up, you can do that. You can click on it in here on the layout. And in here, you can decide to add an image. I usually don't like to add an image because when you do this, I think it doesn't like always show nicely on mobile, so I like to keep it simple and remove the image. But it's really up to you again. And as you can see in here, in this section, you will find the general settings related to how the pop-up appear. So for example, in here, when I go back, in here, I can decide whether I want to see a photo or not, the pop-up size, the spacing between elements, and the internal margins of the edges. It's mainly related to the spacings between things. And in here you have the style, so the color, like what do you have as color in here, what do you have like the rounded angles, the shadows, and so on. So it's mainly related to how this pop-up looks like. And If you want to like change things in this pop-up, it's super easy. You just need to click it like this and to modify things. And if you want to change the appearance, the look or stuff like that, you change them from here. So as you can see here, you have the color, you can choose a different font and so on. If you are a little bit familiar with Shopify editor or any editor in general, it works in with the same logic. So let's say in here, I will put, for example, get 10% off. I will make it bigger, let's say, and I will center it because again, I design everything with mobile in mind. So when I finish, I will preview it on mobile. In here, for example, I would put sign up to our newsletter and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And in here, I decide in the next field, I'm deciding what type of information I want to take from them, what I'm requiring them to fill. So in this case, I'm asking for their email addresses. Okay, as you can see, I'm asking for email. And then here I can modify like the message they see in here. I can even like modify the message they would receive if they filled up a wrong email. And if I want to add another field, I can go in here and add. So let's say I want to add another input field. I will just click on it, drag it, and put it in here. And as you can see in here, I'm requesting them to add their phone numbers. Okay, again, for this example, we are just doing emails. But if you want to also collect phone numbers, this is how you do it. Okay, and once we finish, you click on Save and Exit. And the final thing that you need to do is to activate this pop-up and it will be live on your store. And every contact that you will be collecting via this pop-up is going to be added to your newsletter list. Remember, we are going to start sending those subscribers emails in order to make them love our brand, explore our products, and hopefully convert and buy from us. One additional thing that it's worth highlighting in here is that with Brevo, you can create landing pages and you can use these landing pages to collect your visitors' leads. Again, let's say you are doing a giveaway on Instagram, and in order for someone to enter the giveaway, you need to collect their email addresses. So this is where you can use a landing page. So in your Brevo dashboard, you go to landing pages under contact and you click on create a landing page. And you will see that like you have a list of landing pages templates, and you will see that there is some templates that you can choose from, or you can create your landing page from scratch in the same way that you do on any like normal editor. So as you can see in here, we have several templates that we can choose from. You can even filter by the purpose of your landing page. So let's say lead gen or pre-order or whatever you want, and you click on the landing page and you start building it up. In the same way, it's a drag and drop editor. So if we choose, for example, this one, you can see that you need to put the general settings in here, the colors and stuff. I'm going to skip this, and in here you can build up this page the way you want, okay? And you have in here all the available sections. You can add any section that you want and change it to your preferences. So now that you've started collecting your customers' emails, your next step is to start contacting those emails. And the first part of your email marketing system is the automation part. It's where you set email sequences that are sent automatically based on your customers' behaviors. So let's start with the first one, which is the easiest to grasp. Then we will move to the other things. The first flow or the first email sequences you should be creating is the welcome one. Remember, we have created a pop-up and we have invited people to sign up to this pop-up in return of sending them a coupon code or a freebie or something like this. So in our welcome email, in the first email ever we send, we should be actually delivering what we have promised them. So either the coupon code or the freebie. So in the first email of the welcome sequence, the first and the most important thing to do is to introduce your brand and to deliver what you have promised. This email should be sent directly after someone signs up. Okay, so we signed up, we need the coupon code, we need this urgently, so it should be sent immediately. And you can set up all of this automatically on Brevo, and I will show you how. After the first email, which is the coupon code, you should be sending them a second email in the second day. And in this email, you do your best to show them your bestseller products, okay? They have signed up to your newsletter. For some reason, they didn't buy yet. So you need to make it easier for them to buy. Showcasing your bestsellers usually help. Adding reviews, social proof also helps. And don't forget to remind them to use their coupon codes. I always recommend all of my clients to make the coupon codes limited in time in order to add urgency to the process. So make your coupon code available for 3 or 4 days, for example, and remember them in your welcome series that this coupon code is about to expire. Your third email should be sent when the coupon code is about to expire, and it should be a direct sales email where you tell them directly that their coupon code is about to expire, so they need to take action and purchase. Again, in here you can showcase more of your best sellers, maybe your collections, add social proof, telling them more about your shipping policies, your return and exchange policies. For sure, you need to be to just give a summary, but it's important to highlight all of these things. You can add them through icons, through maybe infographics. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is to deliver the message. As I said before, you can set up all of this on Brevo, and it's an automated flow. So when someone signs up through the pop-up that we have created previously, they will start directly receiving the emails in this flow. You just need to set it up once, and you don't need to touch it again in the future. That's it. Maybe in the future you want to improve it, you want to update it, but that's it. Basically, it's something that you rarely work on. It's a very important flow that will help you to nurture your leads and to increase your sales on autopilot. And now let's move to Brevo and let's see how you can set it up. Dashboard, you need to go to automations, and in here you click on create an automation. And as you can see in here, you have some pre-made templates that you can choose from. And we are going to start with the welcome one because this is what we have discussed previously. Let's click on welcome. And this is actually the most important flow and the first flow that you should be setting up. And as you can see in here, they are explaining what this flow is, and they are giving you a small screenshot or a small, let's say, preview of what this flow is. So as you can see, when someone is being added to a list, this flow will be triggered. Then we have a time delay. So we can, for example, send the email after 2 days, after 1 day, after 1 minute. And in here we have the email that you want to send. So this is a simple, let's say, flow with one email. But as I told you before, I prefer to have 3 emails, and we are going to start from this flow and build up on it. So let's click on create automation. And before doing this, as you can see in here, we have 3 types of, let's say, options. We have triggers, actions, and rules. The trigger that's going to make the flow, let's say, kick in. As I said before, these are automated flows. So they run automatically when someone does a certain behavior. In our case, for example, we want this flow to be triggered when someone signs up to our pop-up. So when someone basically signs up to our newsletter list. So in here, the trigger is contact added to list. And the list in here should be our newsletter list. So we go back in here and we precise the newsletter. Okay, after this we have the delay. So if you want to wait, for example, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that's where we can set this up. I'm going actually to remove the delay because I want the email to be sent directly after someone signs up. And then here we have the action, which is send an email. Okay, and as you can see in here, when you click on it, you have all the options or all the things that you can modify for this email. So as you can see in here, you have the subject line, you have even the preview text, and you have, for example, the sender email, the sender name, and so on. If you want to change the content of the email, you click on edit. And in here, you will be previewing your first email. So first, for example, you have the logo, then you have the heading, then you have a photo, then you have the text and the call to action, and then here you have the footer. What I recommend you to do is to create a layout of how you want your emails to look like, and then set them up in here. And from the left in here, you will see all the things or all the different sections that you can add to your email. Okay, so you have, for example, videos, buttons, logo, payment links, and so on. There are so many options that you can choose from here, and for every block that you add, you can click, you can modify the content, you can modify, let's say, the layout from here, the background. If you want to add an image for the background, you can modify the layout, you can add spacings, you can change the borders, everything related to how this looks like, even the colors and the text and everything. Okay, so again, this same thing I can apply to any of the sections you have in this email. So basically what you need to do is to enter your business, let's say, logo, and then to enter all the sections and to make sure that they are, let's say, modified to match your brand message. Okay, in here, as you can see, you have some pre-made sections that you can choose from if you want. And if you want, also you can save sections, and when you save certain sections, you will find them in here in this part. Okay, they also here have an option to style the email, so you can set up your brand from here. So when you click on set up brand, you will set up your brand assets, so the colors, the fonts, even the logo, I think. So as you can see in here, you can either fetch brand directly from your email, or you can decide to set up brand manually. So as you can see, you add the logo, the colors, the fonts, and even the social media links. In this way, they make it easier for you to set up your emails. So let's go back to our flow. In here, after setting up the first email, what you need to do next is to set up the next email. So let's click on use design in automation. And going back to our automation. And going back to our automation, let's build up the remaining part of the flows. So next I want to add a time delay, which is going to be, as we said before, maybe 1 day. And we click on save. Then we will add an action, which is let's send an email. So I'm going to drag and drop. And with the same logic, the same way we changed this email, we change this one. Then we are going to add a next delay this time. So we go to rules, we add time delay in here. And again, we change this based on how long we made our coupon code valid. And we add again in here a new action, which is email. Okay, as you can see in here under rules, you have some other elements or rules that you can add, like conditional split. If you want to split your flows like in 2 different directions, so based on a certain maybe behavior or a certain, let's say, action, you want a part of your audience to be, let's say, treated with different emails than another part. That's how you do it using conditional split. You have also A/B testing, which is coming soon, and you can wait until a certain event happens. You can explore all of these rules, maybe see if you can use them, but for the welcome flow, you can just use the delay and the emails. It's a very super flow, and you will see setting it up just takes a few minutes. Once you are done, you click on activate automation, and that's it. The next type of flow or email sequences that you should be creating is the abandoned cart flow. And this flow is triggered when someone leaves at the checkout phase or at the cart phase. So someone was purchasing your product and for some reason they stopped before checking out. This flow will help you to hopefully recover these lost sales. And you can in here have 2 types of philosophies. You can decide to directly send those customers a discount code or to wait a little bit. For this flow, I usually like to have a 3 email structure. In the first email, which is an email I usually send after 4 hours of leaving the cart or the checkout, in this email, I just remind them of the cart and what they have left in there. And I tell my potential customers more about my shipping policies, the returns and refunds. I add some reviews, testimonials, and I try to fight any objection my potential customers might have. So this is for the first email. Then after a few hours, after 10 or 12 hours, I send another email, but this time with a discount code. And this doesn't need to be a very big discount code. It can be 5%. It could be more than enough even. And I invite them to use this coupon code to continue and purchase what they have left in cart. And I make this discount code only available for 1 day. Then in the third email, I remind them of this discount code and I tell them that it's about to expire. This flow is super important because again, it will help you to recover lost sales and it will help you to increase your store overall sales and profits. So I highly recommend you to set it up. The next must-have flow that I recommend you to create is a post-purchase flow. And this flow is super important because you will be sending this flow or these emails to people who purchased from you. Why this flow is important? Because after sales services are super important. Someone bought from your store, they are expecting the product to arrive. So making sure that you are still in connection with them, you are still giving them this, let's say, confidence that they will receive their product, that it's going to be good is super important. For this flow, I recommend you to have also a 3 email structure. You can even go more, but the basic thing is to have 3 emails. The first email is sent after 1 hour or maybe immediately even after ordering the product. And in this email, you can confirm that their order is well received, tell them about your shipping time, your processing time, tell them basically when they should be expecting the product to arrive, and ask them to contact you in case there is any problem. This is super important because if they have your contact information, if they have any type of negative feedback, they will come back to you. They will not like leave negative feedbacks on social media or on the website. The second email that I recommend you to set up should be sent like 3 or 5 days after delivery. And in this email, you can do multiple things. You can cross-sell, you can ask for reviews, you can ask them to follow you on social media, and so on. Then you will send a third email. It should be like 7 or 10 days after the second email. And in this email, again, either you ask them to review the product, or you try to cross-sell other products, or you simply ask them to follow you on social media. All of these flows can be set up on Brevo, and not only that, in Brevo you will find like pre-made templates for these flows. You can use their pre-made templates and build up on them in order to have your full flow set up. From the same place where we have created our welcome flow, we are going to create our post-purchase and our abandoned cart flow. So you go to automations, and as you can see, you have two pre-made templates. So you have the abandoned cart and the product purchase. You just need to click on these templates, start from them, and build up your flow in the same way that we have built up our welcome flow. Now that you have finished setting up your email marketing automations, and as I said before, this is the most important automation ever, your next step is to add push notifications and SMS to your automations. Why are these important? Because they can instantly grab your customers' attention. You can use SMSs and push notifications within your workflow to make your workflow multi-channel, or you can even use them in order to send like specific alerts or promotions or back in stock or order update or shipping updates and so on. Okay, so you need to think about them in the same way that you think about email campaigns. We are going to discuss email campaigns and why they are super important. But again, SMSs and push notifications are super powerful, and I highly recommend you to add them to your workflows. And if you are using Brevo, this is going to be super simple because you can integrate all of these channels within your workflows. And I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. So as I told you, you can add SMSs and push notifications to your workflows. So here we are inside of our welcome flow, for example, and under actions, you will see that there is a part called messaging where you can find send an SMS and send a push notification. All you need to do is to simply drag and drop. Okay, so you can, for example, decide that instead of sending an email after day 1, I'm going to send a push notification. Then after, let's say, 24 hours, I'm going to do something else, and so on. So you just need to like put it in here and set it up, and that's it. Same for SMSs, you just need to go and drag and drop. For sure, you need to make sure that you have like set up the SMS service and the push notification service properly within Brevo to be able to use these features. Beyond automations, one of the most important things that you should be doing in order to retain your customers and keep them coming back to your store and to your business again and again is to stay in touch with them is through regular communication. This is super important, and most e-commerce brands forget about this. They set up their automations and they totally forget about like staying in touch with those customers. Remember, your customers are being exposed to new brands, new ads, new businesses, new products every single day. So if they don't see you and your brand in their inboxes, in their notifications, on social media, there is a very huge probability that they are going to forget about you. That's why staying in touch with them is super important. Regularly being in touch with them will help you to reconvert them, to re-engage them, and to keep them coming back to your store again and again. And the best way to do this is through email campaigns and through campaigns in general. Again, using Brevo, you can do multiple campaign types, like for example emails, SMSs, push notifications, and so on. And I highly recommend you to do all of these things. So what type of campaigns you should be sending? You can be sending like weekly campaigns about tips and tricks related to your target audience, something they are interested about. Let's say, for example, you sell pet products. Maybe you send them tips about how to take care of your pet and something like this. You can also launch products, promotions, maybe share with them a blog post that you have on your store, and so on. The most important thing is to stay in touch with them. Now let's see how to set up those email campaigns in Brevo and how to start sending them. In order to send regular campaigns to your audience or to your list, you need to go to Brevo, and from there you go to campaigns and you click on create campaign. And as you can see in here, we have several options. We have email, SMS, WhatsApp, and web push. And all of these, let's say, channels are super important, but now we are focusing on email, but also you need to work on the other channels as well. So In here, you can see that you have like some option for the automated, which is we already covered, but let's go with email, for example. And in here, you decide whether you want to run an A/B test. So let's say you want to A/B test your subject line. You can choose to do this from here. And in here, you choose the campaign name. So let's call it, for example, Easter campaign. And click on create campaign. So this is the sender. You need to define the recipients. So you click on add recipients and you select your list in here. After doing this, you click on save. After this, you click on save. Then you add your subject line. So you need to add your subject line and your preview text. Let's add anything. So let's call it trial 1 and this one trial 1 as well. And as you can see in here, you have the option to like use AI, and they are allowing you to preview how this email is going to look like on mobile, which is super important. So you make sure, for example, that your main message is showing in this part and it's not being cropped. So if you are doing, for example, 5% off store-wide, let's say, and you can make sure that in this case, for example, they will see this full text and you can add to it. You can also use AI, as I said, in order to generate better subject lines. Then you click on save, and then we have the design. So you click on start designing. You can first set up your brand. We have talked about this before. Setting up your brand will help you like to make your work easier, because your colors, your logo, your social media links will be populated automatically. This is something super important and it will save you a lot of time. And in here, you can choose between these predefined templates. You can even filter from here, or you can like choose a default one. So you can preview it and you can click on use template. Once you do that, you need to change the template content to match what you have in mind. So you add your logo, you add all the information in here. And as I said before, this editor is super user-friendly. It's the same one we have used in the workflows that we have created. So basically, it's the same idea. You drag and drop, then you modify your sections and you modify the colors and everything. Once it's done, and you can always, by the way, preview on mobile like this. And by the way, they have a very nice feature. When you click on the text in here, there is an AI assistant that can help you to improve the text as well. And once you finish, you click on save and quit. And your email is ready. You have here some additional settings. So let's check them out. Like you can do some like, let's say, sending tracking. You can like change something related to header and so on. I'm not gonna touch them. And once you are finished, you click on schedule. So you want to schedule this campaign, and you can either send it now or schedule it for later or send at best time. With this option, they will be like sending this email to people based on when they usually open their emails. Okay, so you can use this feature, or you can schedule it for later, and you choose the date and the time and you click on schedule. Now that you know how to keep your customers engaged through regular communications, let's take this a little bit further and let's move a little bit to a more advanced stage and talk about how to segment your audience and why this is important. Not all of your customers are the same, or they are interested about the same things, or they have the same behavior. So differentiating your campaigns based on your different customers, or let's say types or segments, is super important because it will improve your campaign's performance. Let me give you an example to make this easier. Let's say, for example, you have a pet store. And instead of sending a campaign for all pet owners, you send a dedicated campaign for people who own dogs, for people who own cats, for people who own dogs and cats at the same time. In this way, you are sending the campaigns based on what they are interested in. So for dog owners, for example, you show photo of dogs, products that work only for dogs. For cat owners, you do the same, and so on. In this way, you make your communication even better and better. You can segment your customers based on so many factors, but basically, you will segment them based on their interests, their shopping behavior, and their engagement level. So you can decide, for example, to create a segment for customers who bought from you more than 5 times, and you will call them VIP customers. Or for example, with people who consistently engage with your emails, so you know that those people are going to open your emails and interact with them. And using Brevo, you can create all of these segmentations, and I highly recommend you to study your business, and based on your business, and I'm pretty sure your business is unique and every business is unique, is to decide how to divide and how to segment your lists and your audience. In order to create your segments on Brevo, you just need to go to your dashboard dashboard, you click on contacts, then on segments, and from here you click on create a segment. And as you can see, there are some predefined things that you can choose from. And if you have linked your Brevo account to your Shopify account or your WooCommerce account, you will see triggers related to e-commerce, like the purchase behavior and so on. So let's take this as an example. Let's click on engaged email contacts. So, and here you can see like the rules for people who are within this segment. So anyone who at least engaged one time within 30 days is in this segment. And anyone who at least one time opened an email at least one time in the last 30 days is in this segment. As you can see, we have two rules, rule 1, rule 2, and we have an or between them. Okay, and you can simply add more rules by clicking in here, or you can add an and rule by clicking in here. So let's say you want to create a segment for people who purchased more than 3 times. So the trigger could be anyone who purchased 3 times in the last, let's say, 1 year, or in their all time, or something like this. In addition to the, let's say, automation features that we have seen in Brevo, there are some additional features that you might find very valuable. So for example, using Brevo, you can set up your meetings, you can work on your calls, you can even set up your chat on your store, and even like link all of your accounts in one place in order to manage, let's say, your customer services and so on. So if you go in here to conversations, you will see in here that you have several options. You have email, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, WhatsApp, in addition to the chat widget that you can add to your store. And also there is a mobile app that you can get in order to reply directly to your customers and to make sure that you are always available for them. And in here, for example, you have also like the deals section if you want to manage your deals within Brevo. And again, you have the meetings and the calls. Marketing automation is the key to scaling your e-commerce business without spending money on ads. And as we have seen in this video, using email marketing, SMSs, push notifications, by continuously staying in touch with your customers, communicating always with them, you will be able to retain your customers, increase your sales, and scale and grow your business. You can set up all of this system, send all of these campaigns using Brevo. And if you are interested into signing up to Brevo, remember, if you use the link you will find in the description below and you use my coupon code, you will get 50% on the first 3 months on any plan you choose. So if you are looking to grow your business and take it to the next level, this is your sign.